Hello, my friend. Hello, and welcome to this Less Fox Friday on a Sunday under the new Black Lilith moon in Virgo. So there's a lot going on. If you are feeling it, if you're feeling wonky, if you're having difficulty sleeping, if your emotional wavelength is all over the place, if your perspectives are shifting by the minute, if you feel a little untethered, if you feel a little unmoored, if you feel a little unseated or a little unsettled, you're not alone. There's a lot going on. Um, and I don't know all the details of it. I am going to be finally listening to Chris Corsini's workshop on this, and I am going to put a link in my weekly email to my weekly email folks because he always says what makes a lot of sense to me. I've listened to some other people and sometimes it's hit or miss. Every time I listen to Chris, he's my guy. So if you feel so moved, he does a workshop that you can pay what you want. I think I paid last time $20 and I was ready to pay like 45 and I couldn't pay more than 20 or 22. Um, His stuff I find very accessible and very intuitive and very sensible in a way. He seems to connect the dots in ways that my brain is like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Anyway, there, I'll say it a third time. There's a lot going on. So new moon has come and gone. Came and went yesterday, Friday night into yesterday morning. It is the first of two new moons that we'll be experiencing in Virgo. And from what I've gleaned so far, this new moon is kind of like a shedding new moon. And that usually happens during the full moon. New moon is usually about setting intentions and deciding what we want our lives to look like for the next 4 weeks or the next 3 months or whatever time frame we set, what we are aiming for. This new moon is a shedding moon, is what I keep hearing, what I keep getting in here. Which means what? Which means that we're being asked to step into a new chapter. We're being asked to step into a new perspective. We're being asked to finally release those last remnants of the old stories in order to make room for this new, whatever's coming in next. And and as I've been telling you the last few videos I've made, I know so many women right now who are in it, capital I, and they are navigating it beautifully, this season of upheaval and uncertainty and unsteadiness and all the uns, right? And watching them move forward, choosing themselves, staying grounded and centered, coming home to themselves is really an honor and also a beautiful opportunity to expand my own awareness and understanding. So, with all that being said, if you're feeling off right now, if you're feeling like everything's kind of wonky and sideways, you're losing track of time, things feel slippery and thin, you're definitely not alone. And um, it's we're at the beginning of eclipse season, so we are also being invited to explore some portals that are coming up in the in the next 6 weeks or so. Before I read the card, I wanted to clarify something. A couple of people have brought to my attention they don't understand why this is called Less Fox Friday. And here's what I'm going to show you for Fox's sake. So I believe that when we give less fox, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, fox being substituted for a different word that sounds like it, a homonym, when we give less fox, we create more inner space for clarity, for mindfulness, for remembering that we get to choose who we want to be, how we want to show up, what's most important to us. So when we give less fox, we are clearing the way for what we're going to invite in next, right? We can just leave that space open, like my son's bedroom, which is still open, and see what happens. We can cultivate that space. We can curate that space. We can cram it full of stuff. It's all up to us. So, with that in mind, when I pull a card on Friday, I feel like the messages that we get, particularly from this deck, are messages of, hey, here's a way to give less fox. Here's a way to let that go. Here's a way to release that. Here's a way to stop resisting. Here's a way to show up for yourself. Here's a way to step into your core values. Here's a way to stand your ground. These are all ways of letting go of those fox, wink, wink, and making room for the way you want your life to look. So if you have questions about that, please drop them in the comments below. I'd be happy to keep talking about it, or whatever it is that you feel comes up for you during these readings. I would love to hear that too. So all those things being said, here's the card that fell out while I was shuffling. What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shiz done. If you are waiting for a sign, well, here it foxing is. I'm laughing because one of the stories I tell myself is that my timing is impeccable. Is it true? Yes, so far I believe that it's true. Are there other people who might not agree? Sure. That's their perception. My perception is that my timing is impeccable, like to the point where I'm pulling up to an intersection with a stoplight and it turns green as I'm getting ready to make my move, whether I'm going forward or taking a turn or whatever. Um, I'm laughing because while I say to myself, my timing is impeccable, there's still shit that I'm putting off. There are things that I am procrastinating working on. There are things that I am just turning my head away from, turning my face away from. And here's the kicker. They are tasks that I have said are important. And this is the one that gets me every time. I had a coach before COVID who hit me with this gem, and it worked. I say I want blah, fill in the blank, and that's not a priority right now. I say I want blah, and that's not a priority right now. So if I say I want a schedule, and I am doing everything I can to resist following the schedule I have, my actions tell me that my words aren't true. And that's a way of betraying trust in myself. So, which direction do I go in? Do I, quote unquote, allow myself to continue to float off into the ether and not follow a schedule and say, oh, I can't wait for fall when I get some structure back? Or do I say, hey, sis, we've been talking about structure a lot. Maybe it's time to implement some structure. My adaptive doesn't like that very much because nobody tells me when to breathe during guided meditation. And yet, shit's not getting done. Is it important? I say it's important. That's the thing. It's not whether or not anybody else would think it's important. If I'm waiting for a sign, well, here at Foxing is. Here's my Foxing sign. Get it done. It couldn't be any clearer. And I hear that clear is kind. So, Virgo season, one of Virgo's loveliest characteristics is a tendency toward pragmatic thought following, like organizational, tasky things. The story I tell myself is that I'm not good at those things. The truth is that I am good at those things. What do I need to support myself while I take care of those things? What has worked before? Music has worked before, EDM. Water has worked before. Oh, by the way, full water glass. Quiet has worked before. My house is quiet right now. I'm the only one here besides the cats. And I've got an eye on the time because I'm I have a commitment at a certain time frame today. So that's part of the cognitive load. It also becomes an excuse. Well, I can't possibly start that because I don't have time to finish it. Or I could take one more step toward completion. I get to choose, I hear that I get to choose where my time, energy, and attention goes. And I can either take a step to set myself up for success, or I can say, who gives a flip? No worries, Fluffernutter. I'm out. I'll take care of this later. It's like the ants and the grasshopper in my head regularly. If I've been waiting for a sign, this is my foxing sign. If you've been waiting for a sign, what are you waiting for? I'm not particularly waiting for anything. I am procrastinating because I'm really good at it. And it perpetuates my story that I can't do these things. So I'm going to go take care of a couple of tasky tasks. I hope that you take this as an invitation to do the same, whatever it is that's waiting for you. What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shiz done. All right, couldn't be clearer. Clear as kind. Until next week, my friend, wherever we see each other, however we see each other, until then, please take the very best care.